Well, thank you very much, Dr. Staggers, for taking the time to talk to us today. We were curious if we could ask you some questions about some of your voting record. You voted for the Campus Carry Bill, HB 2519, that was recently introduced in the legislature. Can you tell us why you voted for that?
Well, first of all, because I believe in it. That bill only allowed people with permits to carry to have a gun on campus. And anyone with a permit to carry has paid fees, undergone a background check and extensive training, and carried a picture ID. That information would be available to the college so they would know who their students were that were adequately armed and would adequately take care of the guns that they're carrying.
One of the arguments on the floor at the legislature was that due to all the underage drinking at universities, that was one of the big problems with campus carry, that you had too much underage drinking and there would be a lot of mishaps.
I was wondering why they just didn't enforce the rules on underage drinking. That's against the law. And I kept trying to figure out how, since someone's already breaking one law, how they would not break the second law and carry a gun. It was one of those illogical arguments.
Dr. Staggers, were you aware that Joyce McConnell, who was provost and vice president for academic affairs at WVU, vehemently opposed campus carry? And she was quoted as saying, "If we pass campus carry, we will lose our best personnel, and we will also not be able to recruit any good candidates. No self-respecting candidate would go to a school with campus carry." But actually, just a few weeks after that was said, she took a job at Colorado State University as its first female president, and of course Colorado State University has campus carry.
I would say that she was one of the people who really disrespected me when they were lobbying, and she said, all of us will leave. Anyone who has any academic credentials at all will never work at a place with campus carry. So she obviously knew she already had the job.
The House Bill 2519, even though it would have prohibited campuses from expelling individuals exercising their right to carry, there were plenty of exceptions that were still written into the bill. What did you think about those exceptions in the bill?
Exceptions seem to be really common sense, like sporting events, like daycare centers, like areas that are already providing adequate security. There's many others in the bill, and I thought it was adequate.
How do you respond to allegations that the NRA lobbying money is really why you voted the way you voted? That you get a lot of money from the NRA?
Boy, I wish I did, but I've never gotten any money from the NRA. I've always said I would take money from the devil if I didn't have to sign a contract. But the NRA usually gives me a favorable rating because I am for the ability to defend yourself under the Second Amendment.
Even last week in Virginia Beach, there was a mass shooting, and of course Virginia Tech, the site of a tragic mass shooting at its university. What do you think these things are happening, and what do you think we can do to prevent them in the future?
Well, obviously, just declaring someplace a gun-free zone hasn't worked because both those places were gun-free zones. I think we have lost our moral compass and the respect for the sanctity of life. This is a spiritual issue.
So after all that you've gone through this year in the legislature, would you vote for that type of a bill again?
Sure.